Gentlemen, I know shopping is not our favorite thing to do, so I've done a little of that for you. If you're attracted to the classic timelessness of the old money aesthetic, then you'll get a sense for some of the products, their quality and value, that are available to you at the click of a button. We don't need to spend hours at the store trying on clothes in dusty changing rooms, waiting in lines. We can do all that in the comfort of our own home, and hopefully I can help you with that. So let's go through some of these old money essentials and improve our wardrobe in the process.
Let's see what this is. No-show socks. Whoa, they come like vacuum packed. 85% nylon bottom socks. I got these skin toned color. I try not to cut the sock. See how these, ooh, they feel really nice. Yeah, the bottom sole is cotton, so the top is nylon, the bottom is cotton, and you can actually cut these if you need them to be lower. I don't think I need them to be lower. Definitely try out the no-show 3 pairs. There we go. All right. Sometimes they have things that you can rip these open easier. Here we have a pair of Tommy Hilfiger loafers. It's got some decent packaging. First look is not bad at all. These are imitation Goodyear welted. They're not actually welted, but looks like they have a welt here. They're made to look like they're welted. They are leather. Memory foam insole. So these are the Tommy Hilfiger men's Rhone penny loafers, and they're faux leather. I have some no-show socks on that I'll show you later. I went with size 10.5. They're a little big. They run a little big. You can see, not really touching my ankle. They're very comfortable. They have a memory foam insole. So they almost feel like a cloud on your feet. The color isn't the greatest for khaki. I don't know why they went with such a gray. Yeah, it didn't look this gray online. It looked more brown. These were the least expensive of the bunch, and I think a great starter shoe if you just want to try out the old money style, see what reactions you get. It's a great option. Probably buy a size down from what you regularly wear. Here we have a pair of shoes. I've been looking forward to these from Bruno Marc. Got their sizing chart there. They come in these kind of cheap recyclable bags. These are plain leather sneakers, no logo, just pure goodness. Great to pair with tan pants, pretty much any of the colors of the old money aesthetic. If you need a comfortable shoe to throw on, maybe you have a lot of walking to do and you don't want to wear loafers, you got to get a nice leather pair of sneakers. It's important that they're leather. They could be faux leather, but real leather is the best. And I think these are real leather, if I remember correctly. Extra pair of laces, that's nice. And then here's the other shoe. So there we go. The bottom kind of has a gap between the actual traction. They come tied, which is surprising. So clean. These are the casual dress sneakers from Bruno Marc, 100% vegan leather. And when I showed these to my kids the first time, they were like, that's old money style. No. But you can get away with white sneakers these days, especially if you're doing a lot of walking. These are a little wider than I would have liked. I like them to be a little bit more sleek, but not a bad pair for the price. Last pair of shoes. Donald Pliner. Got us a beautiful suede Bit Loafer. That does seem like a leather sole, an actual stitching for the shoe. These are genuine leather Bit Loafer. These are the Donald Pliner men's TED loafer, the Bit Loafer. They are leather and they have a leather sole. I went with size 10.5 and it seems to fit perfectly. The color is perfect for beige pants. These pants are a little bit darker than I would typically like to wear with them, but this is a look that is very popular in the South. Bit Loafer, higher cut pants, no show socks. I like these shoes. They're leather. I like the look, but the color was a little bit different than I expected. And I found a cheaper pair from the same company. I don't think they're leather soles, but they seem to be rubber soles, but they have very similar construction. And they're darker brown, closer to the color I thought I was getting. So I'm gonna try these on for you. These seem to be a little bit more comfortable than the others. The brown is a little bit more versatile than the light tan. You can wear it with more things. Gives you a little bit more solid foundation. So I'm pretty happy with these. We'll see what I think when I get to check them out up close. Let's get into some others, hopefully. Let's see what we got here. Some pants and a steamer. All right, here are the pants. Sometimes these So I had trouble finding a beige pair of pleated pants, and so beige is the most recognizable color for the old money aesthetic. So I wanted to get a pair of pants with the pleats. This is a little bit cheaper pair. It has a stretch in the back, and I'm sure the butt is not as fitted as I would typically like to wear. But the fabric actually feels pretty good here. The button looks nice. Take a look at the stitching. I don't see any issues with the stitching. Maybe a little bit right there, but that shouldn't be a problem. These already are looking like a great pair of pants for the summer. Very lightweight, but seem to be decent quality fabric. I doubt they're gonna be like something I can wear dressed up just because of the elastic on the back. But in general, I think these will be a pretty nice addition to my wardrobe, especially for a casual, relaxing day. These are the Rhone pleated linen pants. I bought them mostly for the color. As you can see, they're a little bit too baggy for the old money aesthetic and a little too long, but you can take care of both of those problems with a little bit of tailoring. The linen fabric feels great. Linen by nature is wrinkly, so you just have to get used to that when you wear linen. And The back of these are elastic, so they kind of have the belt loops and the elastic, which doesn't really make sense. They probably should have just went with side tabs or belt loops or elastic, not elastic and belt loops. But they have two things going for them in the old money aesthetic. They have pleats and they have the color. Lighter tans are iconic old money style, and pair them with a loafer, in this case a Bit Loafer, and you definitely have a casual, approachable style. I personally love the feel of these, and I love the linen fabric, and for the price, they're actually not a bad pair of pants. I would not wear these without a jacket or without a shirt untucked, just to cover my butt, but definitely a pair worth looking at and possibly even keeping. Moving on to the pants. Now, pants are the most recognizable aspect of the old money aesthetic. These were from a company called Chakmar. I'm actually blown away. These are not that expensive comparatively, and I'm actually phenomenally blown away by how high quality this fabric feels. It feels really good. If you're going for the old money aesthetic, they're almost too heavy, which can be a good thing for the winter. For the summer, probably not that good. The most recognizable feature of the old money aesthetic is pleats and side tabs. So this has both of those. You can adjust the size with the side tabs. One reason that's such a good thing is because we gain weight and lose weight often. So if you buy the right size, you'll have a pair of pants that lasts you many years just because of its adjustable nature. Now you'll notice they don't have belt loops. That's because of this feature. Has some decent tags. I am blown away by the quality of this pant so far. The buttons look a little bit cheap. I don't know if it's the kind of brown tan, but yeah, that is the pants. These are the Chakmar Naples style, and I could not be happier with them. The cut is almost perfect. It could be slightly shorter, but the silhouette is great. You got the side tabs. The fit along the waist is great. The fabric feels really high quality. These are more of a winter pant, fall, spring, winter pant. Definitely not summer, and they're not a summer color anyways. Color is perfect. The cut is almost perfect. The fabric is nice. What can I say? A really great pant for the price. Next we have a pair of pants, and this is exactly how they shipped them to us. A regular bag. This is the same company that shipped us the other pants, but these are obviously a different color. The fabric feels fairly high quality. So the side tabs, use these. Stitching hairs. Stitching's a little bit funky, but for the price of these, I'm excited to see if they're decent. Obviously got the pleats. Still, the stitching seems a little bit funky, like there's some threads out right here. Hardware doesn't seem bad. The fabric seems pretty nice. So, excited to try those on. The buttons, there's a button. This is the Chakmar Naples style pant. Again, the cut is nice, slim taper. You can adjust the length without needing a tailor because they have several lengths. Higher waisted and great summer look. This fabric is a little bit lighter than the other Chakmar fabric, the navy. This is more of a spring, summer, fall, whereas the other pant was more of a fall, winter, spring pant. But they both come in several colors, and if you like the look, I think with a little bit of starch, the crease would hold better. Now this one was also an affordable shirt, but I mean, we'll see. It comes in a squished bag, which is not going to be good for the collar. You can already see that the collar is a little bit mangled. It's a pretty thin collar too. That may be a deal breaker for me on the collar because you need to be able to wear a tie. One good thing is it didn't come with a lot of clips and papers and stuff. It should be easy to send back if I want to do that. The fabric, it definitely seems a little lower quality, but that just maybe because of the stretch. It does have more polyester than some of the others, less cotton. The sheen is fine. It's sometimes the shirts with polyester, they look too plasticky. This doesn't seem like that in person. The buttons seem fine. They don't seem bad at all, actually. And the stitching looks okay. I think really so far the only worry I have is this collar and the feel of the fabric, which is a little more polyester than I was expecting. This is the Muscle Fit dress shirt from Iowos. It's athletic fit, and I went with the small size. I'm glad I did. Anytime you buy clothes online, check the sizing chart. It's helpful, especially if you know your chest measurement, your arm measurements. And if you don't, you can check out our video on how to measure for a suit. That's helpful to kind of know what your measurements are. So I regularly wear a medium, but I went with a small on this. And this fits fairly well. I mean, it could be taken in slightly on the sides here. The chest is a little bit wider than I typically wear, but for the price, this is a steal of a deal. The sleeves are slightly short, but I knew that, and it's, you know, nobody's really gonna notice. I wanna check the collar size. The one downside to this shirt is the fabric. Although it feels very good for summer, the fabric is a little bit has a rubbery feel, which is moisture wicking. Although I don't think this shirt is the best shirt to pair with a nice pair of Gurkha pants, it could be a great, just like everyday shirt. Throw it on, wear it around, roll up the sleeves. Yeah, for the price, great summer shirt. I could see me buying several of these to work in maybe. Or if you know you wanna look a little nicer, but you know you're gonna get dirty, this would be a great shirt for that. The one downside is I don't know how this is going to look with a necktie. It looks like you can get the necktie in the collar. It wasn't easy and it kind of pokes out a little bit. The collar's a little short on the front. That's the one thing I don't like about this shirt is the collar. But overall, this would be a great shirt. If you had a young man that needed a shirt for church, this would be a very affordable, decent quality. The fabric's a little thin, but if you wear an undershirt, you'll be fine. So yeah, not totally disappointed in this shirt. This was a low-priced option. Light blue again is a great old money color. Full stretch. Hey, they didn't include pins that will fall into my carpet. That's good. Nice, I'm liking this so far. They have a much better packing system than the others. Similar but easier. No pins. That's great. I am going to cut this off because can't really hide it. And put all this stuff in the bag. Alright, how we looking on this? Well, no complaints. The fabric feels about as high quality as the Tommy Hilfiger shirt. Stitching seems good. The collar seems solid. It comes with some plastic collar stays, which is pretty common. I typically replace those with metal collar stays. The buttons, they're blue, probably plastic. They have a little pearl sheen to them. We'll see how it fits, but so far I'm actually pretty happy with this. This was one of the more affordable shirts I bought, so try that out. This is a light blue slim fit dress shirt from Rodem. It seems to fit well through the chest. The sleeves are a little short. You typically want the sleeves to come down at least to your wrist bone, but possibly even to like the start of right after your thumb joint. The light blue is the next color after white that you should have in your wardrobe. The cleanest. Reminds us of the sky. Let's see how the collar fits. Collar's perfect. They sell them by collar size, so you can just measure your neck. If you don't know how to measure your neck, check out our video on measuring for a suit. If you see any issues with this, let me know in the comments. I like it overall. This would be a great, it's very affordable, and if you just keep the sleeves rolled up or you plan to wear a jacket, this would be perfect. And you could go with a large and then do some tailoring, but the fabric feels great. The collar's solid. Yeah, other than the sleeve length on this,
there's nothing you can do about short sleeves. So I think if you go with this shirt, you're gonna need to probably buy a size up from what your chest size is, and then have them taper in. So I actually bought the size up on this shirt after I saw that the other one wasn't gonna fit perfect on the sleeves. So this is it. As you can see, the sleeves fit great. The shirt's designed to be tucked in, and really old money style looks best when you tuck in your shirt, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so as you can see, the sleeves fit almost perfect on this shirt, whereas the other ones were a little too short. I like to flex my neck as wide as I can to see if I can feel uncomfortable at all, and I can. So here is the size up on this. Perfect size, amazing price. I can't recommend this shirt enough. The only downside to this shirt is the cotton content, but the flexibility, the sizing, the fact that you can just buy it for so cheap, this is a great shirt. As I mentioned, a white shirt is an essential item of the men's of the old money aesthetic. This one is from Hilfiger. Slim fit, wrinkle free. They're never wrinkle free, okay? But wrinkle free just means they don't wrinkle as easy. I just like to hold on to these in case I send it back. I don't ever do as good of a job putting them back in if I send it back, but I still like to have everything just in case. And one thing you can do to keep these pins from stabbing people is just put them sideways in the cardboard that you're provided. Try to get them sideways so they go in but not all the way through. Collar feels nice on that. Alright, let's see how this seams. This is more of like a basket weave. Size seems good. Fabric seems higher quality than I expected for a mid-range shirt. The buttons seem nice. They actually do look like mother of pearl. Not sure if they are or not, but we'll see how this fits. This is the Tommy Hilfiger Slim Fit shirt. As you can see, it's not designed to be worn out, so you're gonna wanna keep it tucked in. They weren't joking about the chest measurement. It's snug on the chest. And it's 100% cotton, so there's no give in the fabric. But overall, the slim cut is great. I would not need this tailored on the sides. The sleeves are long enough. The collar seems a little snug when it's up. Let's see what it feels like after you put it down. Feels perfect with it down. I would have loved to see this with like 5% elastine, which will give it a little bit of stretch, make it slightly more comfortable. In terms of a dress shirt, I couldn't ask for more, and for the price, it's definitely a great shirt. So I went and bought the size up on this Tommy Hilfiger shirt as well, and I'm very glad I did. I don't know why they don't list the proper sizing online, because I think they would get a lot less returns if people could see, okay, here's my chest size, here's the arm size, and they could just order the exact shirt that fits. But yeah, let's go ahead and tuck this in. So I ordered the size up on the neck because I figured that the chest would be a little bit bigger with the bigger neck. And I was right. This shirt fits almost perfectly. If I stand here doing nothing, not breathing, I mean, there's no pulling whatsoever on the center. If I flex and breathe, I can barely get a little bit of pulling. That's exactly what you want. You want the shirt to fit comfortably, not too tight, not stretching, but comfortably to give you enough room to move your arms. And this is a nice shirt. This is definitely worth the price. I would buy this again. I may buy several more. I'm definitely going to keep this. The quality, the fabric is good, 100% cotton. It's slightly too thin. I wish it were a little bit thicker, but this is great for summer. And it fits perfect. The sleeves are perfect. Let me check the neck. I did get the bigger neck, and it is a little more comfortable with the collar up. Yeah, this is the perfect shirt. I love it.
Moving on. So this is the Calvin Klein option. It's slim fit, wrinkle free. They always send them with pins. You do have to be careful with the pins. Don't want to drop them around, step on them without your shoes. Here we go. I'm going to leave this tag on in case I send this one back. Has a little bit of a stripe to it. The fabric doesn't feel bad. It's got a little bit of stretch, and there's this nice ribbed texture. If you haven't seen our how to measure for a suit video, you might not know what drop means, but drop is basically the difference between your chest width and your waist jacket width. If you do have a big drop or even an average drop, you should probably always go with slim fit. They look better when worn. They have a more tailored look. This is the Calvin Klein Slim Fit. It's 100% cotton. It has a ribbed texture to it. It feels very nice on your skin. It's not stiff at all. It's very movable. Not designed to be untucked. So we'll go ahead and tuck this in. All right, here's the size up on the Calvin Klein shirt. And as you can see, it doesn't pull unless I really push back on it. I think the chest fits perfectly. The sleeves, maybe slightly too long, but not a big deal. The cut through the waist is great. Maybe slightly too big, but good enough. Let me check the collar. Easier to put on than the last one. I think this collar is slightly bigger than the last ones I bought. It was the size up. So I think what you have to do with these shirts is take your best guess on neck size because they vary the chest size with the neck. So take your best guess on the neck size and then buy possibly maybe even the size up or maybe the size down and up and just plan on sending 2 of them back, whichever ones don't fit. So this is the Calvin Klein shirt. All right, next up. The Rhone shirt. This is an item that's essential in the old money aesthetic, collared shirts. This was one of the more expensive shirts I wanted to try out. Long sleeve. This is a summer fabric as well. It's what they call their commuter shirt. Blue stripe. I don't know if you can see the stripe here, but let's see if I could get a better look at it. These nice button downs. So the collar is kind of weak, but I like that these are hidden. So it has the hidden collar buttons to hold your collar up in case you're not wearing a necktie. But then you can also easily wear a necktie and just leave them unbuttoned. I really like that. That's a great feature of this shirt. The feel of the fabric seems high quality. The stitching seems high quality. The buttons, I don't know if they're real mother of pearl, but they look like it. And regardless if they're real, they do look high quality. Looking forward to trying that on and wearing it in the summer. Collared shirts are an old money essential. And you want to start with a white shirt, but light blue is the next step after you have several whites. It looks light blue from far away, but it's actually a stripe. So a striped light blue shirt is a great addition to an old money wardrobe. So we'll see how this one works out for us. This is the commuter shirt from Rhone, and you can see it's not designed to be untucked. It's got the longer tail. The color goes great with khaki. Let's tuck this in. This is by far the most comfortable shirt of the bunch. It is mostly nylon, but it doesn't feel like nylon. It feels very cool. Amazingly comfortable shirt. You could sleep in this. It just fits to your body. The cut is a little bit wide. I would probably want to get this tailored, and for the price, this is definitely not a value purchase. It's a quality purchase. It's expensive, And then if you have to get it tailored, it's gonna be even more expensive. But man, I wish I would buy 20 of these just to wear every day if I had the money for it. This is over 6 times as expensive as the first shirt I showed you. But the color's good. It's got a stripe in it. Can't see it unless you're up close. The sleeve length, this is by far the best sleeve length of them all. It should hit when your hand starts to widen. That's where you want your shirt to hit, and this hits in the perfect spot. It does not have collar stays. It has buttons to hold the collar up. It's a little more casual shirt. It probably would not go great with a necktie unless it was a thin necktie. But in terms of an elevated, comfortable look, this is a great choice. It feels very high quality. The buttons seem nice. The stitching, yeah, very good. All right, Paul Frederick. Comes with the catalog, shipping bag, and a receipt. Blue stripes is a great choice. This is comfort stretch. I like that there's no pins. That's a good thing. Just cardboard, plastic. I like to keep everything together in case I need to send it back. Alright, this is the Paul Frederick shirt. So far so good. These buttons look a little janky with the blue, but collar looks nice. Two-tone collar. Stitching looks good. The fabric has a little bit of a stretch, but not too much. Feels very comfortable. So I'm excited to try this on with the old money look. The iconic light blue striped shirt. Alright, this is the Paul Frederick shirt. It's 97% cotton. It has a little bit of stretch. Feels very comfortable. The sizing seems to fit almost perfect. A little bit of fabric around the sleeves, a little bit too much. Not sure that it's enough to be problematic for me. Maybe it is a little too much. Sleeve length is pretty much perfect, and it's designed to be tucked in. So let's do that. All right, there we go. Yeah, what can I say? Well, actually, let me check the collar. Width seems a little tight at first. So do they all. Until you get the collar down. And then it seems to fit perfect. So yeah, I mean, the only issue I have is maybe the bunching around the sleeves. But I don't know, I'll have to give it some thought, look at this on camera and make a decision. If that's too much, maybe there's a size down I can go. But this was on sale. Regular price is pretty expensive for this shirt, but it's definitely a high quality fabric. I love that they put a little bit of stretch in it. That alone will probably allow me to go a size down and still have it fit well. So we may try that. So with this shirt, you can really throw on pretty much any of these colors. Tan would be a little bit more summer. Sports coat, you could even throw on your navy suit coat. Gray would work well. Possibly even black, although I don't usually like to mix black and blue. Let's try one of these. So I think this is my favorite outfit from the haul. It's the Rodem Club light blue shirt with the Chakmar Gurkha style pants and the Donald Pliner Bit Loafers. You can throw on a sports jacket with this. I recommend dark blue and even recommend a pocket square here. Has some light blue in it. Light blue to go with the shirt, and you're looking very good. Also go with the more navy blue. If you want to make it a little more formal, you can go with a navy blue and a navy blue tie or a burgundy tie. You want to make it even more casual, you can throw on the white leather shoes. As I mentioned, these shoes are probably a little bit more bulky than look good with the straight old money style, but a nice pair of leather dress sneakers is a great addition to any wardrobe. These are the Bruno Marc dress shoes in leather. What's interesting about these shoes is my kids, when I first showed them the old money outfit, they weren't super excited about it. They thought it looked atrocious. But then I threw these on and they were like, oh, that looks a lot better. This is so casual. Definitely not traditional old money style, but it's a step towards casual in an acceptable direction, especially if you had a little bit sleeker pair. But I thought that was interesting. The kids' reaction, oh yeah, that looks better. And this is my second favorite outfit. It's the Chakmar Navy. These were the Naples style. And with the Calvin Klein shirt, again, this has a rib texture. It's a little bit thinner than I like, but not too thin. Great for summer. It does pull a little bit in the center, so I may opt for the one size up on this, one neck size, but the neck fits perfectly, so I don't know if I'd make an exception for that center. If it pulls open, that would be a problem, but. And these are, again, the Donald Pliner Bit Loafers, real leather, suede. And you can go with a casual tan jacket. You could go with a gray jacket, throw on a navy pocket square, and you're looking very professional. Or you can go with a pretty much any color. Unfortunately, these pants don't come with a matching jacket that I was able to find. But you could go gray. The only ones I have are gray and tan that would go with this. The number one tip to buying clothes online is to make sure you have your measurements right. We made a video on that, how to measure for a suit. Check that out. You'll get a walkthrough for every measurement they use online. This whole video is in preparation for our old money style video, which will be coming out in a little bit. If you want to check that out, you can do that here. And if you want to learn how to measure yourself for a suit, check out our video here. As always, gentlemen, keep looking classy. I'll see you at the top.